1988, we get the MPC, which was a key ingredient in the development of sample-based and loop-based genres.
Without the MPC, we probably wouldn't have hip-hop today.
In 2014, the same person designs this, which changes the way that music creators interact with sound. So let's say you know nothing about music theory. Let's combine 3 features of LinnStrument to make it easy for us. For preset 1, I've set up the minor scale. By simply sticking to the colors, making melodies is super easy. And the second scale we use commonly in music is the major scale. So preset 2. By default, each row is tuned in fourths, a bit like a guitar.
So if you're familiar with the guitar, you can apply those same shapes on here.
You can also make it operate a bit more like a cello by changing it to fifths. Octaves. And there's even more ways you can set it up depending on your preference. Now, something that's cool about this design is that once you learn a chord, you can copy and paste that exact same shape anywhere on an instrument.
And so that helps a lot, because on piano, of course, if you want to play a major triad in C, it's one fingering. If you play the same triad in C sharp, it's a different fingering, different one in D, different one in D sharp, and so on and so forth for all the 12 keys.
Any chord shape you learn will work anywhere on an instrument. Now, something that people don't usually realize from watching the videos about LinnStrument is that it's very expressive. And I think I know why. When we first got mobile phones, we only had buttons, but now we can use our hands. And it's a similar thing with MIDI controllers. At first we had sliders and buttons, but now the power's in our hands. When we're designing synth sounds, we usually use an LFO to add vibrato. However, when you do this by hand, your music will come to life.
There are many musicians that play a Stratocaster guitar, but their touch, their way of playing makes us able to identify who it is by a single note. So by having something expressive like LinnStrument, you can add your personality to your music.
The pressure that you push down will affect the tone of the sound. Pressure can be mapped towards anything you want inside your synthesizer. Just drag and drop it to any parameter. And the third dimension is front to back. This is referred to as slide. Next, let's find out why Roger gave us his buttons on the left hand side.
I value the concept of a revealed interface, which means that the things you want to use quickly are easily accessible, but all the other things that are rarely used aren't shoved in your face, but rather they're deep settings that you can hold a button to access. And when you're playing music, you want to be able to switch octaves quickly, you want to be able to switch transpose quickly, and you want to have a split mode so you can have one sound on the left, one sound on the right. And so those are the things that I give control buttons for quick access to.
So if you're using this for music performance, here's a few things it does really well. There's an arpeggiator. You can also put this on the low row for more control. There's also an easy to use step sequencer. Going across we have time, and going up we have pitch. And you can also add chords. So if you've been wondering about the size, LinnStrument comes in 2 options. I got the 128 notes because I want to make sure that it's portable, always can travel with it. And as you can see, it's about the same width as my laptop. Here's 3 things that I think could be improved with the design. To transpose on the LinnStrument, we use the buttons. However, I would have much preferred if this could be done using these switches, but at the moment it only works for octaves. Secondly, when you're playing piano type sounds, it is hard to get the velocity sensitivity right. The LinnStrument makes up for this with the pressure sensitivity, which is great for like woodwind type sounds, string type sounds. And another improvement would be more space to make these kinds of movements. I feel like if the pads were a bit longer, it'll be easier to adjust that while you're playing.
I've been approached by so many synth companies asking me to review their products. I feel like music technology should be about innovation, designing new tools, and that's why we're going to be only promoting the best product on this channel, so you guys know what you need to get.
Special thank you to Roger Lynn for taking the time out of your schedule to talk to us for the past 2 videos. And if you guys want to support the channel, hit the subscribe button and join our Patreon if you haven't done it already. You get some bonus behind the scenes content and every single synth preset that we've made so far.